Hey y'all, so today we are going to do the Mid Year Freakout Tag, except it's going to be for the second half of 2020. Here we go. So the first prompt is the best book you've read in the last half of 2020, and that's going to be The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This book kind of took me by surprise, to be honest. I knew it was going to be good because I'd heard so many great things about it. However, I didn't get to read it when everybody else was reading it, and there are quite a few people that didn't really like the main character, and I was kind of worried about it, but this is definitely my favorite read of this last half, if not the entire year. So the second prompt is the best sequel you've read in the last half of 2020, and I'm going to go with Night's Shadow. I haven't read a lot of sequels in this last half of the year, to be fair, but I really did like Night's Shadow. It's the second book in the Greatcoats series by Sebastian de Castell. This is part of Mike's book reviews read-along with his channel, and I really loved this series so far. Third prompt is a new release you haven't read yet, and I'm going to go with Fires of Vengeance. I definitely want to read this, and it's going to be a focus of mine to read it here soon. However, I haven't got around to it yet, but it is coming because The Rage of Dragons, like I said, was probably my favorite read of the year. Number 4 is the most anticipated release for 2021. I don't know, and I'm saying 2021 because it's the next half of the year for us. I don't know of really any books for certain that are coming out. I'm sure Brandon Sanderson is gonna put something out, so I'll just go with something that he's writing. Biggest disappointment, so I guess I'm gonna have to go with another audiobook, which was The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, I believe. I liked this book. I will say it's the biggest disappointment because I was really excited for it, except I was looking for a creepy read, and this one, not exactly creepy. It definitely has some creep factors to it. However, the humor in it just kind of brought that creep down. Now, it did make me laugh out loud. I'm not saying the humor was bad. It was pretty funny. It's just, I feel like it took away from the creepiness, and that's what I was expecting. So it was a bit of a disappointment, but it was still overall a good book. Alright, so the biggest surprise is going to be Sphere by Michael Crichton. I don't really read a lot of sci-fi, and there's some elements about sci-fi. I don't really want to say it in case it spoils it for you, that I don't really like, and I actually really liked this book a lot more than I thought I would. I know Madison from Mike's book reviews, she was talking about it in the Discord channel, and I just actually liked it a lot more, like I said, than I thought I would. So it was a good surprise. It made me think. I still think about it, honestly, but it really makes you kind of think at the end where some things happen and things are said, and you kind of question the entire book at that point. Number 7 is favorite new author or debut or new to you. So I'm going to go with Evan Winter. I am so excited for Fires of Vengeance, and this was just such a great book. And my answer for the question last time was Brandon Sanderson, and he is still probably my new favorite author. But Evan Winter, there's just something about his writing style that I also really love, and it's very different, and that's what I'm enjoying about it. Number 8 is newest fictional crush. So I'm kind of torn between Brasty Goodbow, because he's just very funny. I think y'all are seeing a pattern here probably. And then I also am kind of torn between Clay Cooper, the main character here in Kings of the Wild. He also has some really good humor, and I think that's gotta be the key to my heart, I guess, is just be funny, pretty much. So between these two characters, I couldn't really decide. If I had to choose one, I guess I'd go with Clay Cooper, but Brasty Goodbow is he's still up there. Number 9 is newest favorite character. Now, I know that I've had this book in several answers already, so you're probably surprised that I didn't say Tao was a new fictional crush of mine, but Tao just doesn't make great decisions all the time. So he is not a fictional crush, but he is probably one of my new favorite characters. I like him. He's very determined, and he does make bad decisions. I will give him that. Terrible decision-making skills. However, he likes to talk shit, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I find it very funny, even if sometimes it kind of screws him over. Number 10 is a book that made you cry. And when I was going back and looking through my books that I read this last half of the year, I honestly can say that I don't really know of a book that's made me cry. A book that did come close was If You Tell. It was a nonfiction book about the sisters who endured horrible child abuse from their mother and some other things that happened in their life, and it was pretty horrific. It was terrible. So that would probably be the closest one that I would say that almost made me cry. Number 11 is a book that made you happy, and I'm going to go with Warbreaker. I was kind of torn between Kings of the Wild and this one, but Warbreaker was just, Kings of the Wild made me laugh a lot, I will say. Warbreaker made me laugh too, though, and it was light and fresh and new, and it just has a Brandon Sanderson goodness to it. I don't know what to call it. And this one just made me really happy. I was so glad that I got through Era 2 so I could finally read Warbreaker. It was great. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you've bought in the last half of the year, so I'm definitely going to go with To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I think this cover is gorgeous. I love the inky blackness and just the rich blue of it. It's very beautiful, and it's even signed, so I kind of hate that it has the signed edition sticker on it. I thought about taking it off, but I'm kind of, with the material that this cover is, I'm kind of afraid to take the sticker off because I just don't want it to have that sticky residue on there. So I think I'm just going to leave it even if it's not my favorite. Number 13 is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? So I'm going to go ahead and say that I need to finish The Great Hunt because I need to finish The Great Hunt. I've had to take such a long break in that book that it's making me sad, but I also want to try to finish House of Leaves, and I don't know if I'll make it. That book is such a dense read that it's hard to just keep at it after a while. So ultimately, my main goal is going to be to finish The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I have joined a readathon, the Reindeer Readathon, through Eric at Break Even Books. He and several others are hosting the Reindeer Readathon, and this is going to be one of like the main book clubs that he is reading, so I've joined in on that, and I'm really excited. And once again, this one has another signed edition sticker on it, so annoying. But I'm excited to read this, and that's going to be my main goal to finish by the end of this year. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments what some of your answers are, what you think of some of these books or characters even. I'm sure some of you are going to have something to say about Tao, because some people seem to either love him or hate him, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of you guys out there that don't like him. I just find him funny. But I digress. We'll go ahead and redo this tag again come next June, and I'm really excited for it because I like to see how my answers have changed. I'll go ahead and link a card, or I guess over here I'm going to link a card, as well as put down in the description the Mid Year Freakout Tag, so you can see kind of how my answers have changed. It's pretty cool to go back and watch. But that's all I've got for you now, so y'all are as good as gold. Y'all take care. Bye.